Hi everybody, and welcome to Session 4 of MEDT 3401. Remember to visit the course plan for a big picture view of just sort of the most important things that you do this semester in terms of how you earn your points for the class. Remember, the course plan allows you to focus on the big picture, on the essential things that you need to get done. And then the content module provides the details and the richness that support you in doing those big picture things. So always go check that out. Occasionally I make changes to it. I don't anticipate making a lot of changes this semester, but I could. And at the bottom, I note the changes and the date I made them and the reason why and all that kind of stuff in the bottom. So probably more information than you want. So this session is all about learning a little bit about movie making, fair use, and media literacy. Fair use has to do with a legal exception that allows us as educators to use some copyrighted material, as long as we're aware of the rules for doing so. There's some rules and you want to pay attention to those. And so the materials in this module are meant to help you kind of navigate through that, even though this is not a black and white issue with a right or wrong answer all of the time. There are gray areas galore, and people, educators, school librarians, anybody involved in using copyrighted material in educational settings, they fight about this a lot. Like at conferences, there might be somebody might do a presentation on fair use, and there will be disputes among the audience on whether that person presenting, who could be an expert in their field, actually knows what they're talking about. So ultimately, a lot of the time, these things get fought in the courts, if they get fought at all. And a lot of the time, people just argue about what is fair use. But I want you to go read about it, and I want you to try to figure out what you think it means, and then there's a quiz about it. Do your best on that. All right, and then this is where we pick up with the teacher welcome video. Back in session 1, you did a quick plan for doing a teacher welcome video. You might wonder, why did you do that in session 1 and then here you do a video? Part of the reason we did that in session 1 was just so that you could have some experience uploading a Word document to a Dropbox. It also let you think a little bit, because that was the first module of the course where I had welcomed you to an online class. You had a little bit of exposure to an example, my example of how you might welcome somebody to a class. You had that kind of fresh in your head back in session 1. So I was just trying to get you to think about welcoming people to an online or blended class at that point. I also wanted you to just upload something to a Dropbox and to make sure that you were engaged in the class. And so that's one of the first measures. So that's why it's kind of split up like that. So you're warmed up to it in session 1. You might want to go back to your teacher welcome video plan, Dropbox, pull your plan out, and use that to do this. And basically all you have to do is turn on your video camera, go through your plan, and kind of talk out your points. If you don't want to do video, I think I talk about it in the instructions. You can do other formats as well. You don't have to show your face. You can use a fake name. And please don't give personal information like your full name and your address and your real phone number or your real email. Don't do that. There's no need to do that. So it could be that you wanted to do that with your real students or your real clients at some point in your life, and that's your decision. But in this class, we don't need that. You can make up information. You can give your real name if you want, Miss Smith or something. But again, don't give more information than necessary. I don't need you to do that. All right. In terms of this session's social media contribution, I want you guys to do the Google Community Current Event post number 1. Go check out those instructions related to that. I don't want to explain it here, except that you're going to go find a current event and you're going to share it on the Google Community. During this session, you're also going to read one chapter of a fabulous book called Understanding by Design. It's a fabulous book because so often in education, you're given quick fixes for how you design instruction, just quick, simple ways of doing things. But sometimes the quick and simple don't always make sense, and there's often contradiction. So what I like about Understanding by Design is it gives you, system is not really the right word, but I don't have a better word than that for right now, but it gives you kind of a comprehensive system for understanding instructional planning, and it gives you kind of a philosophy and a way to tie your instructional planning to deeper meaning and deeper purposes than just we're teaching this concept because it's in our standards and that's as deep as we're going to go with it. This book tries to get you to really get to the core of why you're teaching, what are the deeper meanings, how do you connect it all, and how do you create effective instruction. So it really, I think that it's a good book to go get a copy of and just have and sort of read and enjoy over a 10-year period, quite honestly. It's that kind of book. It's not an easy read all the time, but I just want you to read chapter 1. Chapter 1's pretty easy. It will sort of summarize the whole idea behind understanding by design, and I think you'll get the big picture. You'll get a quick and easy, simplistic snapshot of what UBD is all about. And then I urge you to go deeper, time allowing. We do have the whole book available to us currently in Galileo in the eBrary program. It's online books in the electronic library. So you can go into the West Georgia Library page, go into eBrary, go into Galileo, go into Education eBrary, and you can actually access the whole book there if you want to. I highly recommend it. But all you guys have to do is read chapter 1 and then answer some questions on the wiki page on your wiki called Readings. You do submit all 3 of your readings at the end of this session, so be sure that you do that as well. Finally, Voices from the Field, the enrichment piece. You can take a listen to the media specialist who talks about the use of technology in schools. She's just one voice, one perspective. And she talks about, I think she talks about Nooks in her library and how she manages those and how she supports the work that classroom teachers do. And a media specialist would also be supporting the work that that speech language pathologists do in school as well. So be thinking about that when you listen to her. She may not talk about SLPs. I bet that a lot of SLPs that practice in schools probably don't go ask for help from the media specialist, but the media specialist is there to support everybody in the school. Special education teachers, regular classroom teachers, speech language pathologists. She's there to help everybody, to help the school counselor, the school nurse. She's there to help hook people up with information, resources, and learn about media that might help you in the work that you do. So there's not any super hard technology here unless you consider the Google community hard technology, but really this is sort of a quick breather because, well, that might not be fair to say. For some of you, it might be challenging to put a video up. It might be challenging to post in the Google community. We don't do a real techie type thing, in my opinion, in this particular module. It is in the next session, session 5, that you will actually engage in making your digital movie. On that point, and maybe I'll mention this in the next video as well, if you already know how to make a digital movie, you don't want to do that, I have an idea for alternative things you can do. So contact me if you're interested in that. All right, you guys, thank you so much, and enjoy session 4. Let me know if you have any questions or need any help.